What's up everyone, my name is Joris. Welcome back. In this video I will show you how I look for real estate, how you can find good deals and how to calculate your expected return and how to boost that return. If you want to start a real estate portfolio, you'll have to find good deals that create cash flow to fund your next deal. First, we will look at how much you are able to lend from the bank. This step is crucial. Without a loan from the bank, you won't be able to create a leverage that you will need in the future. Then we will look at how much you should allocate to acquire your starting real estate. After that, we will look at the process of finding new deals. I'll share what I do and how I do it. And at the end of the video, I will give you some tips on how to find even better deals, how to make use of leveraging your current real estate portfolio and how to boost your return. A lot of my old clients have amassed their fortune in real estate. They bought, they sold, they renovated and they rented out the properties to achieve their financial goals. Some of them stopped when they reached 2 million in net worth, while others kept going until they earned over 100,000 euros in rental income every month. That is net rental income. They had over 50 million in real estate assets. If you want to create a 7-figure real estate portfolio for yourself, you can't simply wait out the length of your own mortgage before investing in the next property. Unfortunately, you do not live forever, so you'll have to use leverage to acquire several properties within a few years of each other. A few years of hard work that will over time generate you passive income. The good news, however, is that you do not need 1 million euros to start your real estate journey. You do need, however, a little starting budget and you know how to save it by now. You also need quite a lot of time and guts. Real estate investing, especially heavy leveraged investing, is not for the faint of heart, but it can be very rewarding. So let's get right into it. First off, it's important to have a look at how much you are able to lend from the bank. This can be done easily by simply talking to your banker, and in most cases they will advise you to only allocate 1/3 of your income towards mortgages. In investment cases, you could argue to spend up to 50% of your income on the investments. Even more could be possible, but I would strongly advise against that. It would be too risky and too dangerous if you were to have problems with your own income, so a good margin of safety and an emergency fund can work wonders here. Your main priority should always be your own place to live. You should not invest in real estate if you do not even have a place to live for yourself. Whether you have a paid-off house, you live with your parents, you are renting or you're paying off your house, you have to decide how much of your income you can allocate towards the real estate investments. And if you have costs of living for now, you might not have lots of margin left. But don't forget that when you buy investment property, you will get the rental income as well. So if the bank lets you loan up to 50% of your inflow, that means 50% of your own income as well as 50% of your rental income. So if you make 2,000 euros each month yourself, and your potential rental income is 500 euros every month, your advised loan goes from 1,000 euros in a month to 1,250 euros in a month. When you know how much you can potentially pay off every month, you can now calculate how much you can spend on loans every month and how big of a loan you can get. When investing in real estate, especially investment real estate, a longer loan term is advisable. The lower your monthly mortgage, the bigger chance on a cash flow. I'd suggest getting a 25-year loan on investment real estate, so your monthly payment will be very limited. With a possible monthly payment of 1,250 euros, you are able to lend around 320,000 euros on a time span of 25 years. If that is not enough to both fund your own place to live and the investment property you're looking at, you'll have to put in more down payment. Don't forget to take into account all the costs that are linked to acquiring new real estate. You can find a link to that video in the description below. Once you know both your monthly payoff limit and you have saved up a down payment, you can start looking for properties. For me, this monthly number is 1,250 euros, and I am willing to invest 50,000 to 100,000 euros as a down payment. I decided earlier for myself that I will always pay the registration and legal fees when acquiring real estate, and I will only put down principal if I really need to. My money invested has a higher yield than the costs of a bigger loan. It would be more interesting to keep the money invested than to have a higher down payment. I will most likely go for a 100% loan, so my price range is 320,000 euros to max 370,000 euros. So for now, I'm looking for a place to invest in worth around 300,000 euros. So here's how you can start your search. As a first step, I decide where I would like to look for properties. When starting out, look close by. You want to know the market or the neighborhood where you are looking. When you know the area, you know if there are traffic jams and where they are located. You know the connections to public transport, how the city operates in general, where you can park and so on. If you do not know the area yet, start getting to know it. Drive around, walk around during different times of the day on different days. Learn the problems and the advantages of the area. Take the public transport and check the state of the nearby park and so on and so on. So once you have located your preferred buying space, you'll have to find some properties in that space, of course. So you launch up some of the ImmoBroker websites. I suggest using multiple because not all listings are placed on the one or the other. I chose my birth city for an example, so let's just look at we'll look at the houses and apartments. I'm open to both. The price range, my maximum price range would be 370,000 euros. Of course, this is a max, preferably less, of course. And I'll put in more filters as well. I always suggest getting at least 2 bedrooms because those apartments or houses are easily rented out or sold after. So I will have to put in number of bedrooms too. And the square meters are also pretty important. I want apartments that are big enough. So let's put in really the lowest I could go. And that should be it for now. So we'll search and see at all the listings. I always sort by newest because I check the websites nearly daily. The first things I do always is to look at the prices, of course, the pictures. You can always check if it's a new or an old apartment from the first few pictures. And I always check on the bedrooms as well as the square meters. When you are looking at different apartments, at a certain time you'll find one that is interesting to you. Let's pick this one. I already opened it here. This is the apartment right here. I'll look at the description first and then we'll go to the pictures. So it's in Dutch, I'm sorry, but we'll have to translate as we go. So it's on the second floor. I know exactly where this apartment is located. I know my region, but I know this apartment is located right next to the park as well. It's a very nice place to live, but there is a bit of traffic right in front of the apartment at rush hour. So 2 bedrooms. It has an outside terrace of 9 square meters, which is pretty big actually. And there is 2 places to park your car as well, and you have to buy them as well for 30,000 euros. Let's exclude that for now. We'll just work with the 250,000 euros buying price. There's also a cellar part, which is already nice. Extra place to store is always very welcome. Second floor, it's with an elevator as well. And the monthly management costs are 100 euros, including water, maintenance, and the elevator. So let's look at the pictures now. The building itself looks like it's very well refurbished, renovated. The facade is very nice. We know it's on the second floor, so 1, 2, it should be here. I prefer to be on the third or even the highest floor, but okay, fine, this is the second floor. So it will be one of those. The pictures here, you have the view on the park, which I know. I'm looking now at the grade of finishes. Of course, it's really hard to see on those pictures, but I'm trying to make some mental notes to where I have to look when I go there. The floor is also basic. It's good as far as I can see, but it's basic. The heating is right in the open. That's a big problem. It's not really a big problem to me, but it's a bit in the way, in my opinion. And the fencing, well, it's part of the building, but it's not my thing, I'd say. The doors, sliding doors, okay, fine, that works. So here we have the living room, I'm assuming, and the hallway. You probably enter the building via the big brown door. The keys are over there. What's a bit annoying to me is the support beam here, because it really divides the living room to the corridor. If it is possible to get it out, I would definitely do so because it will open up the spaces. Apart from that, there's wallpaper all around, not to my liking, but okay, it fits the style of the apartment. It's a bit old. If you get rid of the wallpaper and paint it all white or in a light tone, it will be a very nice and open apartment. As well here, the apartment is located to the, if I recall correctly, the east. The living room is faced east, which means there is quite a lot of sunlight coming in, and natural sunlight really brightens up a place. So yeah, it is decorated in a rather old style, but fine, that is just the interior. You really have to look past all these things. You have to look at the building itself and not the furniture that is there, because that's easily changed. The hallway, okay, basic. The kitchen seems a bit small. What I definitely would note is that the closets are a bit old, but okay, fine, they probably work pretty fine. I'm not a fan of the ceiling. That might have to be changed, as well as the countertops. They are small. On the other side, there is a bit of countertop. Maybe we'll see in the next pictures, but there is no real place to cut your vegetables or to cut your meat, so you really need that space. We'll have to look at it. Maybe here it's not really that big, so that's one thing I'll be looking at when I'm visiting the apartment. Where to work in your kitchen. Then you have I'm assuming the second bedroom here. A bit annoying with the big glass door here, because you'll have to place your bed on this wall and not too far so the window can still open. So it's really not a room for a double bed. That means that the apartment would probably be perfect for a younger couple with one child. Yes, this is the second bedroom. It's quite spacious as far as I can see. The same big window here as well. The same wallpaper we saw earlier, and I see here a little bit of malfunction of the wallpaper. We'll have to check that out when we're visiting the apartment. This could be water damage. We'll have to really focus on that, because that could lead to problems we do not want. The bathroom, pretty basic, a very new shower placed right in the middle of a pretty old bathroom. There's also a ventilation here. We'll have to check out if the ventilation is good enough. The terrace, 9 square meters I saw earlier. It's very good to have something small like this. It's really an added value in my opinion. People can stay outside and have the room to do so. It's also on the back of the building, which means it's less crowded, less noise. The cars over here, that's a parking, I know that. There's not a lot of traffic, just people parking or just getting out, so no problems there. So overall, this apartment is really not that bad. It looks pretty good actually, and with a few minor adjustments, like the wallpaper we saw earlier, maybe the kitchen could use a new paint job, and the bathroom, we'll have to see what happens there. But with a few things, we can really make something out of this, and it might be an interesting opportunity to invest in. When I have found a few options, I look at the rental market on the same area, looking for comparable properties and to look at their rental prices. This could be my lowest income for that property I'm looking at. When I buy an apartment for 250,000 euros, I'll have to pay off around 1,000 euros per month. That's without taxes or running costs included. I now have the choice. I could take out a 100% loan and pay off every month at least 200 euros out of my own pocket, or if I put in more as a down payment, I would get to the point where I have a break-even point, or even starting a cash flow. In this case, that break-even point would be around a 200,000 loan. I would make an appointment to go look at this apartment, and if it was to my liking, so no major faults, basically ready to live in, I could put in an offer, and usually my offer would be around 6 to 10% under the asking price. But recently real estate prices have gone up a lot very quickly, so I'm not expecting a bit under asking price to go through, but you never know. As an investor, you have to define your maximum price you want to pay for that particular property, and do not go over it. Because if you're in the heat of the moment, you might want to bump up your bid just to get the property, but this means you are lowering your return. As an investor, you have the time, so take the time to find a good deal, and if you don't find any, more will come, there's no need to rush. Those are my basic steps. I figure out the numbers, I spend time in the area, I inspect the property thoroughly when visiting, and spend some extra time fixing things up if needed. To lower costs, I try to fix as much as I can myself without having to ask a professional to come by. But to get even better results, better returns, you can do a few things. One, you can look for properties that are not perfect and you can renovate them yourself or with contractors. This way you are adding value to the property, so you can rent it out for more. Or you could even sell it at a higher price if you're into flipping. You can always try to lower your bids. The less you pay, the higher your return. Of course, the less likely you'll get it, but if you do get it, the better your return. You can also go off market. You can find leads that are not known by the bigger market yet. This way you can get a personal bid in, so you don't compete with the bigger market, which has often bigger pockets. Finding leads like this requires a lot of time and effort. You have to meet people, you have to network, you have to cold call, you have to make flyers and so on. Once you have bought your property, you can now think about the next steps. You can start saving for another down payment, and you can leverage your current real estate portfolio to be able to lend more in the future. This leveraging is crucial and it works as follows. To lend for your first property, the bank will ask you to put down at least 20% as a down payment. This means your loan to value will be 80%. While you're paying off the mortgage and the value of the property hopefully goes up as well, the loan to value ratio will start to get lower. The bank will then ask for a global loan to value ratio of your real estate portfolio to be at a maximum of 90%. This means you can lend 100% of the value of new properties, as long as your total loan to value stays within limits. So use the value of the partially paid off properties as a leverage to lend more in the future. At the start of your real estate investing journey, you will have to have a high loan to value, but don't keep this ratio too high for too long. A loan to value that is high will be dangerous when your income will go down. For example, when there's a vacancy in your properties, if rental prices go down, or when you are laid off from work. At the start of your journey, a loan to value of 80 to 90% can be needed to start off, but after a few years you should really aim towards 70% or lower. The lower, the better. So these are the basics of real estate investing. It's not really that difficult, but you have to spend enough time and enough effort to get what you want. Finding good deals is very hard, but if you have the time to wait for them, you will be rewarded greatly. So if you've enjoyed this video, be sure to destroy the like button for the YouTube algorithm and to subscribe to the channel if you've not done that already. Hit the notification bell to be notified when a new video comes out. I thank you for watching and I will see you in the next one.